You're listening to Miscast Commentary.
Hey everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary, the Coming Attractions episode. I'm Joe Findlay.
I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And anybody who really pays attention will know that I said my name a little weird there. I'm Joe Findlay.
I liked it.
Yeah,
mix it up.
I'm trying to change it up. I'm trying to sound professional because my voice doesn't help.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I need one. I need like a, oh baby. I can't even do like that. See? You got some bass in your voice. I'm all treble, baby. Nothing but treble. Woo!
So turn up the bass, lay low on the treble.
You just got me laid. So we're back. We're back with it. I just blew that.
Oh, yeah. I just blew it.
Yeah, we're back with you. We've got another movie planned. We put a lot of thought into it, if you want to choose to believe that. Like every movie we ever do on here, it's the exact same thing. It's like, hey, we haven't done this movie yet, and then it's like, how have we not done that movie yet? That's a movie we have to have done.
I thought we actually did the movie we're doing next already.
But then you say that, and then I'm like, maybe we did. Then I have to like start going through the list, and I'm like, we're not even that deep into it yet. Like
we're redoing it.
Like this is going to be episode 26 coming up, as far as like full episodes. Right?
Do you think that I'm guessing Star Wars would probably be it? But is there like so much trivia where we could do another movie again? Like where there's just so much shit. We'll probably hit it. We'll hit it one time.
There's a couple of movies where I probably could have taken Dawn of the Dead. We could have taken our conversations in totally different directions and done a completely different episode, which is probably why it's a good thing that we'll do the remake at some point. So it's like, I don't know.
Thank God for the remake.
That's how we're going to have to go about doing it. But this episode that's coming up, there's no remake. You could remake it, I guess. I guess there's a billion people you could use to remake this. And you have been able to over the course of the years. But they didn't. And
they shouldn't.
And no, they shouldn't now. I think the time is done. We are glad for it. We go to the world of the WWF, not the WWE.
That's right.
And not the WWF where there's pandas. Is there pandas?
Oh, yes.
Oh, there
were
not
some anymore. There used to be. Yeah, it's still their logo.
It was just a big fat Chinese guy.
They were tired. I'm telling you.
Panda.
They were tired of getting like, the WWF. And then it's like, Dear Macho Man. And they're like, for son of a bitch. They're like, isn't anybody going to give us some money for the wolves? Hey, Hogan, you should dump that Miss Elizabeth. They're like, fuck this. And then they sue Vince. And then Vince is like, fine, just take it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm on board with that. But the movie we're doing is a WWF produced movie. Like,
is this the first one?
Vince McMahon produced it. It's not like WWE films where they had their own thing. But this was produced by Vince McMahon. To my knowledge, it was the first one ever done.
First dipping the toe into the movie industry.
And I'll give you the one piece of trivia right off the bat. This movie was rewritten over a weekend by Vince McMahon and the star Hulk Hogan. And then they get behind typewriters and just like
I would love to be a fly on the wall during that weekend as they worked out this friggin' movie.
Yeah. And
the name of this movie is exactly the rules and regulations of this very podcast.
The Royal Rumble.
Oh my God. He is broken in half.
That is how you get eliminated in the Royal Rumble.
If this movie is a literal slobber knocker.
Yes, they knock some slobber.
Oh, yes.
It actually took me like an embarrassing amount of time to actually realize what the slobber knocker was.
I think it's just a hell of a fight.
Yeah, I had to go back a few times. Whenever Jim Ross would say something, I had to go back and analyze it to a level that made me feel dumb every time. Because like he'd say something like tougher than a $2 steak. I'm like, what does that mean? And then I'm like, oh, $2 steak's probably pretty tough. And then then it was like I actually had to go back and analyze, and I'm like, what am I doing? I've analyzed.
What has my life become?
I'm like spending like gray matter on the poetry of wrestling.
It is poetry.
It is poetry. And none more than this, because the bad guy says 2 words. So it's not even enough for a haiku in the whole fucking movie. This movie, if you have not guessed it yet, if you haven't guessed it, you're not a listener of this fucking podcast. I was like, you go...
Trouble in Paradise.
Try again. It's moonlighting. No, this movie is no holds barred.
Oh, yeah. Just like us, baby.
Hulk Hogan, Zeus,
Tiny Lister?
who is not credited as Tiny Lister. He
He's
is credited
Zeus.
as Zeus.
And he showed up to fight Hogan.
Yes,
for the promotion.
We'll talk
Yeah,
about this a
yes.
lot next week. There's
my God.
There's a lot of crazy stuff to go into in this. But let's give a listen to this trailer because it is funny bananas.
Hey! Are you looking for a little escape? Want to see something
This is sick!
you don't see every day? Are you ready for a whole new Hulk Hogan? Hulk Hogan is ripped. To the world, he's a hero. But to this man, he's history. Zeus. Stand back. Way back. Get ready for the battle no ropes can hold. No ring. No referee. No rules.
Gentlemen, it's time.
No holds barred.
This is an unprecedented display of strength and determination.
So that was that movie,
Wow.
guys.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty giant stretch for Hulk to reach out and play a wrestler.
I don't know, you know.
Well, he's not named Hulk, so that's where the stretch is. He's Rip.
Oh yeah, he's called Rip 'em Rip.
Yeah,
Oh my God! I
It's
just
a little-
decided before this too that I want to go as Hulk Hogan
Yeah.
with the do rag, the red and black at Comic-Con. I think I just did
and
it.
I think you're going to shave your head,
Yep.
skullet style.
Do a skullet.
Oh, good.
Did the ladies dig a skullet, or is that just because he had shit tons of money?
There's no chance. Those are people. Oh, it's definitely the money and the fact that he's all muscly
Yeah.
and stuff, right? And oily. I think women like
Oil really adds.
oil. Yeah.
Sometimes that's all they need, really.
Yeah.
Like, this man's disgusting. You dump a vat of
Yeah.
oil, they're like, wow, he is gorgeous.
Yeah, like if you take like a paper towel and like pat down the rock, he's a disgusting human.
Yes.
I want to blow. I said that too
Rock
loud,
for
didn't I?
nothing.
Oh no.
Hell yeah.
Oh no, Baywatch is my gay fantasy. Like I can already see it. There's gonna be these beautiful women. I'm like, get out of the way of the Rock and Zac Efron.
Yo, I heard that he might be running for president. He's probably just joking, but
Yeah.
like they'd vote for him.
No, you know what? I think that anybody is at this point willing to run
Yes.
for
And
the
when
for the purpose of like is like I don't necessarily want to be president, but I feel like I'm a shoe-in to beat him.
Yeah.
And
So you're gonna
he's
win
like,
this one.
Just any of us are gonna clear it out. But if like a proper like political candidate like came in and says
Right.
I'm going to run, they'll be like, I respect that, and they'll walk away, and they're like, we've got somebody who's gonna win. Although we thought we had that once.
Exactly.
But-
you never know.
Well, that was somebody was saying to me the other day. They're like, he's not going to get a second term. I'm like, probably not, but I'm not.
Don't say it.
I'm
Yep.
not-
Yep.
I'm not
Don't.
committing to
Nothing is
anything anymore.
absolute.
Yeah.
Other than that, Hulk Hogan is fucking superb as Rip.
Yes, and Zeus is superb as Zeus.
Oh my, I
He doesn't
love
get to be-
Zeus.
And what's better about Zeus? Well, Tiny Lister. Than to know that he is in several, like a couple of $1 billion movies.
Yep.
And best of all, he played
was
the
in-
president of the universe.
Oh, that's right. In The Fifth Element.
The Fifth Element. He was.
You're right. He
Yeah,
was the president of the universe.
Once upon a time, he was the president of everything.
I just like because back in the day, you know, we were both watching wrestling
Yeah.
at the time, and we're huge fans.
Yeah.
And I didn't not know Tiny Lister from the acting world, so
No.
he was Zeus to me. But I
Yeah.
can't really imagine like if you were older, being like, this is an actor guy.
Yeah. I don't know that he was in much.
A lot at the time,
prior.
right?
We'll have to dig into that for next
yeah,
week. But
I think
it's,
I think you might be right. Is it, I wonder if this is his first role. We'll have to find out.
It
We're
very
in the
well
trivia.
could, or unless it was like he was playing like Giant Thug number
Yes.
3. In,
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, first
random movie.
real role.
Yeah, this is definitely his first like role that would be considered some form of lead. Like he's like third or fourth lead, whatever it is in it, which is something considering. Again, he says like 2 words.
You don't have to with a presence like that.
No, exactly.
That crooked eye does all the acting you'll ever need.
It is the
It
is the most crooked eye. It's almost like it's trying to learn how to be an eye from the other eye. So he's just like job shadowing.
He's just
like
staring
what are
at
you
him the
doing?
entire time.
What are you doing? Looking over there. I was like, well, I'd look over there too, but
look
I'm afraid.
forward.
I'm afraid to know. Like, I won't see what you're doing then.
Yeah, he's like, no, just look forward. Everything will be okay. Why do you have to be like this?
They're not a good team. And his unibrow
Straighten up and
director.
fly right.
Yeah.
This thing's the right eye too. Straight. Oh fuck yeah. That was something.
I guess we don't have to do this movie. We've unpacked everything that we need.
Well, that was a fast one.
We did
Throw the movie on super fast forward, and then there we are.
I'm on board.
What's going on out there in the world?
A lot of things going in the world right now. A couple of big things I want to talk about right off the bat. There was an interview with Diane Lane, who anybody who doesn't know plays Superman's mom, Martha Kent, in the new Man of Steel and all that series. And she was interviewed, and they asked basically, first question, which is the question they always ask of people in these movies, like, can you give away any spoilers? She says no. Next question, will Justice League blow Avengers out of the water? And her answer, one-word answer, no. And she then says, she's like, sorry to disappoint, or whatever it was. She's like, I gotta be honest. And I'm like, that is an ouch.
Yeah.
Because when you're now talking to the respected actors
It's
in the
not even
group-
out.
No, it's not even like they just, I think they, well, no, it's in post-production. I was going to say, I think they just finished shooting it, but they do not.
Way to hype the film, Diane.
Yeah, it's going to be what you wait and see. The people who do the press for this movie are going to be all of the like low levels. Henry Cavill will probably be the biggest person,
Right.
but he might not even do it either because he's still technically dead, and they may keep him like
as
a quote unquote
surprise.
surprise, even though it's like it's Superman, it's gonna happen. But like dude who plays Cyborg, dude who plays the Flash, Jason Momoa, who apparently is going to be playing the Crow.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, they just that was something I just read.
I knew that the remake was going to happen. It's going to be rated R.
It keeps coming back and going away, coming back.
I think
and
this is
going
for
away.
real this time.
But yeah, it's Jason Momoa's right now attached to play the Crow.
They got the director too. I can't remember what else he did.
I don't even know who they said was said to
I'll get it. Okay, we can keep
But
talking.
yeah, he's gonna be so like those will be the guys who do the press for this, and I was like, I highly doubt you'll see Ben Affleck, except maybe on Kimmel because they're friends.
Right.
But like, I highly doubt you will not see Jeremy Irons.
No.
Like up to the showing up.
Poor
to the plate
Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, it's
Holy Lord.
it's gonna be his like Orson Welles was for the Transformers movie, the animated one.
Does
like,
Wonder Woman? Okay, so if Wonder Woman is good,
yeah,
will they continue with Wonder Woman? You think, and then just say fuck the other ones?
I think that Justice League is the keystone for the expanded universe that they want to have.
Right.
If this movie does not meet every expectation,
And it has to.
Yeah, the expanding universe will die, but that does not necessarily mean
That's
that's the
standalone
end
movies,
of.
right.
Yeah, like you'll get
A
an
Batman
Aquaman, you'll
or-
get and Joss Whedon's doing Batgirl.
Oh, that's wicked.
So they're getting ready to tell some stories, but I have a feeling, if this doesn't it's gonna make money, but they're gonna have to spend so much money to make it make money.
Yeah.
So it becomes one of those because you always see it's like, well, the budget was 150 million and it made like 600 million. I need to see the whole budget, the marketing,
because they don't ever take that into account. 'Cause there's like a lot of advertisements, a lot of billboards and breakfast cereals, and
you were talking a little bit like Dennis Miller there for a second. Hey, it's like,
hey, let's go to the bordello. Cha-cha.
You look like Caligula in a blood fest. that was not a good. I figured if I said Caligula, something would come to mind by the time I got to it.
But we got to the end.
I should have spoken slower. I probably could have gotten something, but whatever. It's too late.
Fuck it.
But anyways, a person who worked on Justice League does not. Well, I'm assuming she's in Justice League. If they asked her, it's probably because she's in Justice League.
Yeah.
What
What happens to Zack Snyder now?
I don't know. They keep wanting him to do this shit, so who knows, right?
Because he's good. Other than these superhero ones, I like his movies. I like The Watchmen. I
would like very much
Dawn of
to
the
see
Dead.
him. I would like very much to see him go and do something else for a little
Yeah,
while.
I wish too, because he's
Like,
good.
it's
That
like-
one with the chicks dancing to escape reality was pretty fucking stupid.
Oh,
But the
yeah.
action was cool.
Yeah.
What was that movie called?
They were getting-
Sucker.
Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
They were, and they weren't just like escaping reality. They were getting power raped. But I'm like it was basically like the holes in the plot
Yeah.
were only slightly smaller than their like swollen vaginas.
They're
Because they were
giant,
just-
gaped out.
Yeah, and then in more Donald Glover news, because we seem to have that week to week.
Yeah, we are like the Donald Glover news channel.
He is doing another project for FX, and this is going to be an interesting one. They're doing a Deadpool animated series that's for adults. Like,
That's
it's not
awesome.
going to be for kids.
Yeah,
in
it's
any
for
way,
adults. Well,
way or
anything
form.
Deadpool shouldn't be for kids.
No, absolutely not. But you can have a kid's version of him, like, make appearances.
Yeah, well, he was on Spider-Man and stuff, and they're
Yeah.
dissing each other, and that was pretty cool.
It's very simple to make a kid's version of him, but that's not the... like
You're
you
right, it
can't-
actually would be, because he would just be a smart ass making jokes.
But you can do that and have him
Break
as
the
a
fourth
cameo.
wall, yeah.
You can put him in a cameo in like a Spider-Man and have him do that, and then have Spider-Man go like, "What are you looking at?" Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he can't be the lead, and then you just abandon all that other shit.
Right.
Right. So so they're doing this one. Donald Glover at this point is attached as a showrunner, so he's like an executive producer and that kind of deal. I don't know where that's going from there. That's all I know at this point.
Man, he has
But
got a lot going on, man.
he is slowly becoming, and I saw it in him. I know I mention Community every fucking week, but it's but like I saw it then, and I mean he was super young, but you could see that he had an up here talent.
Yes.
Compared to everybody else who was totally reaching the bar and surpassing the bar and all
Right.
that kind of stuff. Like everybody
He's got
is
it.
great
He's
in
definitely
that.
got it.
But he just his just seemed effortless.
He can rap like nothing, too. Like, he's
Yeah.
a great rapper.
It's like
He can write.
yeah, it was like when you watch like Michael Jordan play one-on-one with another NBA player.
Yeah.
And like he just schools him, but you're like this other guy could beat literally anybody else.
Yep.
And like it was that kind of thing. And he just again, like he's got the Han Solo thing, he has Atlanta, he's got another season coming of Atlanta, he's got another episode from this coming of Atlanta. He's got what else going on? He's got the Lion
Star
King that we talked
Wars,
about.
Lion
Yeah, so
King.
like I mean it is
Holy fuck, man. You know, you got to strike while the iron's
yeah.
fucking doing its thing
But
there.
I feel like he's gonna like I think people are really starting to regret, because back in the day when he was on Community, there was a little bit of a grassroots campaign to make him Spider-Man. And it got really far, and it got kind of close, and they were talking about making the next Spider-Man, instead of Andrew Garfield,
Right.
be the Miles Morales
Yes,
Spider-Man
yep.
that would have featured Donald Glover. And they started talking about it a lot. Like the first episode of the second season, he even gets out of bed and he's wearing a whole Spider-Man costume like has his jammies.
Right.
And if you watch The Amazing Spider-Man, the first one, if you look on the desk, there's a picture of Donald Glover on the desk.
That's right.
So, I mean, they acknowledged that it was close, and I feel like they just ducked out race-wise.
I think so, too.
Like, not saying, like, two parts. One, they saw what happened with Finn.
Finn?
Like in The Force Awakens.
Oh,
They're
yes,
like, there's
okay,
going to
yeah.
be a black stormtrooper. Unacceptable, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, people were losing it, eh?
Timeline-wise, that doesn't work.
never
This
came
came
out.
after, but like that happens every time. Like, they've talked in the past about having a potentially black Bond, and they've talked about it again with Idris Elba.
Yeah.
And then it's like, not my Bond, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, guys, fucking relax.
Yeah.
Like, it can totally...
What was the deal with the stormtroopers? That they wouldn't allow black people in or something, or what?
No,
How
it
could they
was-
not be multiple races? Look at how fucking many stormtroopers there are.
Well, the first thing was they're like, but they're clones. So it's got to be whatever.
Oh.
But
Clone of Black Eye.
yeah, they cloned a black guy. But then on top of that, they also had, like in the original trilogy, they all sounded different. And then when they were like, well, if they were all clones of the prequels, why do they sound? And they
They all
explained
grow up
it.
in different places.
No, and they explained it right away. They were like, well, the clones are mostly dead.
Right.
Because it's what they were built for, was to get killed in the war.
In battle.
But we needed more, and we got people who went to the academy and that kind of thing, and they all became stormtroopers, and they're from everywhere.
Right.
And that's
Yeah, exactly.
and that's what it is. And then they went.
If you want to amass a giant evil army, you can't be turning people away.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe because they're too good.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you help that puppy. Get the fuck out of here.
How dare you? No puppies on the Death
Yeah,
Star.
like what in the shit?
But the it was that kind of thing, and people just lost their friggin' minds, and they're like, it's not possible. But
Racist.
nobody comes from a movie logic thing when they do that.
No, it's all hatred. It's just because they don't like. I can't handle Spider-Man's white. He's not black, which is not true because there's Miles Morales. They can't handle when they do that kind of shit.
And I don't even want to call out like racism per se.
I'm fucking calling it.
No, but because it's like you see people will just be Spider-Man's white, and then that's the end of it.
Right,
Like,
that is it.
There's no like.
Would it be the
discussion
opposite though?
of-
Like if they made the Black Panther white.
That would be a huge deal.
Wait, but I'm saying not just with the white people that were hating on the fact that the stormtrooper was black. Would they be like, they'd be like, he's supposed to be black. They'd probably be, right on.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
they would probably, they wouldn't be right on, but I think they'd be get over it.
Yeah, exactly,
Would be-
right?
They would be like,
Fucking people, man.
It was like, whitewashing, boom, boom, boom. Like, whatever.
Well, because they were upset about with what's her name in Doctor Strange. Because she wasn't played by it was Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
People were upset because it's supposed to be an old Asian dude.
Yes. Which she is. So,
Yeah.
whatever.
Tilda Swinton is everyone. Man.
Yeah, exactly.
What the hell?
That was actually, I thought that was kind of a good choice, was the fact that, like, I had no problem with that. But to have somebody who is clearly, like, you know, it's like in their name is Black Guy Bob, and then, like, that would be, that would be different. And it was the only one, I was trying to think of a real example, but the only one I could think of was N-word Jim from Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not saying that one. I was like, Louis C.K. can get away with saying that.
Would that end the Black Panther if it came out that he was white? Like how we're going to find out soon that Captain America has been a Skrull the whole time.
Nice.
Seriously.
Oh, there's a lot of things. Well, there's also another one where he was Hydra the whole time.
Oh, no, sorry, that's it. He's Hydra. He was Hydra. I'm sorry, that's it.
Yeah. No, they're not going to have time because I guarantee you he's getting killed in the next one.
Again.
Yeah, for legit.
For the
killing.
50th time.
Well, in the movie.
I think that this is going to go into... I was thinking because if he was going to be a Skrull, then that could explain when they defeat the Skrull, the real Captain America's still alive somewhere.
Yeah.
Like being held captive or something, right? But if he's Hydra...
He'd be Captive America.
Captain America. I prefer the old one by what's his name? He makes all them shitty movies. He had the Avengers first.
Oh,
Roger Corman.
Yeah.
That's the roast clobbering time.
oh God. Yeah, that's probably like the entire basis on why he took that role. But yeah, there's so many. There's so many different examples of when they do that kind of, like, they make those complaints, and like the James Bond one where they made the complaint of like they were literally naming anybody before. It was before Daniel Craig even, because I think it was before they officially signed on Pierce Brosnan, and that was after all the crazy nonsense because they were worried about what could potentially happen, and they were like, it's gonna be Mel Gibson. They're like, boo, too well known. And then they named like Sharon Stone. I follow the fan theory of James Bond is just a name.
Right.
Like there is no person named James
Bond. Oh, right.
Bond.
When you get the 007 position, you are named James Bond.
Which is why...
I like that.
Well, yeah, the fan theory was that when you go through all the movies, it's like times change and the person's age keeps changing and going all over the place, but they stay in a present. Like, they're not like, oh, this one takes place before this one because he's younger.
Right.
So they're just like, oh, that James Bond eventually died and got replaced by the next James Bond.
Okay, I can see it being a woman.
So it was like, it was
not Sharon Stone,
but that was why, like, I could allow an Idris Elba or anybody like that.
I think Idris Elba's too tall to be James Bond. That's my only gripe with him. But in movies nowadays, he's tall.
How tall is he?
He's big. Like, I remember him being on The Office, but maybe Steve Carell's really short.
Yeah.
But Dwight and Buddy Krasinski,
they're both
they're tall, and he's taller than them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, but that's the only reason. I think Idris Elba is a great actor.
Yeah.
great.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does because he's really not been happy about his role in Thor thus far. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they did to keep him.
Oh, really?
And stuff like that. Yeah, he's because basically
he's just the watcher.
Yeah,
he got to show up on set and just stand there being the watcher.
There's another fan theory that he contains an Infinity Stone, like in him, which is why he can see everything.
That makes sense.
So, because they're trying to now they're getting to the point where there's like some missing Infinity Stones.
There is,
and it's like, well, where are you going to find them? I'm not going to have any spoilers for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but there's potential openings for
what could be an Infinity Stone,
what
or where they could find it. Which
like,
ones are they missing?
That kind of thing. I don't know which
they
ones,
are missing,
but
one though.
They're missing, I think, 2.
Buddy's got one in his head.
Yeah, that's the mind gem.
That's the mind gem. The somewhere in Asgard they have one in that.
The Tesseract is in Asgard.
The Tesseract.
The Ether is in
the one from Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
The one from Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Nova Corps has it.
Well, no, that was and then the Ether was from Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah.
It was the red one. And then the Asgardians deliver it to the Collector.
That's right.
So he had that one. Then in Guardians of the Galaxy, they had the Power Gem.
Yeah, that's one of them, though.
That was one of them, which they brought to the Collector, but now is with the Nova Corps.
Right.
And now there's 2 more.
Yes. There's time.
Yeah.
There's a time one.
Yeah.
And there's...
like a...
Yeah.
And Gator, I think.
Yes. Yes.
But
keeps going up when Hawkeye enters the room. Holy fuck, what's going on? He's got a Hawkeye right for your balls and dick.
We get it. You got a wife. Everything you do is covert.
Yeah. Sure is.
And if I'm guessing who your partner is, it's probably Vision over there.
The Vision. Oh, it's definitely the Vision.
Definitely Vision.
Imagine a gay sex scene between the Vision and Dr. Manhattan. Ooh, girl.
So aside from that, now you have to get in one movie, you have to figure out a lot of Infinity Stone stuff. And I think you're going to get they're going to open it up to get the
next
one.
Tesseract. Thanos will know where they're at.
Yeah, well, Thanos knows that the one is on Asgard, but Asgard essentially gets destroyed. So I feel like he's gonna, like in the post credits or something, go get that one.
Right.
And then he'll have it, and then there'll be one left. Because now his
maybe the first one is him searching for the last one. He's got all of them, and he has to make the gauntlet complete.
Yes, and that's what it is. Because
that's the big
the
surprise.
Second movie apparently is called Infinity Gauntlet.
It's inside the Watcher.
So and that's what, and like that makes a lot of sense. But like it could be a lot of "it was in you all along" type of weirdness. So we'll figure that out as we get there. But it also could be something that the people bring. Because there's all like the Guardians come in this one and stuff, so it could be something that they bring. Like,
can't wait to see how it all ties in, man.
It's so good. But now the real question is, do they do another like unified universe thing after they've done Infinity War? Because I feel like the Avengers is done.
They are done. I'm telling you, I think I already know what's gonna happen.
What's that?
I think that they're gonna band together for one last thing. A bunch of them are gonna die.
Yeah.
I think Iron Man might die. I don't know what's going to happen, but some of them are going to die. Some of them just got together for this, and it's going to be the Avengers, but it's going to be a brand new team.
Yeah.
Some of them will remain.
Yeah. Well, and then there was another, again, I'm just reading all fan theories. I was reading an article about Marvel fan theories today. One of them was that the reality gem is going to allow them to recast a lot of people. And that's just going to be their thing. They're going to be like, oh, well, Thor's a different person now because they're not getting Chris Cam. Like, all of the people whose contracts are up,
good way of
they're
doing
not
it.
getting any of them back.
And they got all pissed off, too, because their contracts are crap. Other than Robert Downey Jr., who makes like $800 million a movie.
He did help them get more money, though.
Oh, that's good.
He, for when Avengers 2 was coming out, he like helped them negotiate on their behalf. He still made way more than they did.
Of course.
But like they were making like at least double-digit million.
After the first one, but he made that deal. Mm-hmm. Like, essentially, Robert Downey Jr. and Marvel are the ones who came together and been like, and he's like, if I'm going to be on here, you better be giving me profits and all types of shit. So he made the sweetest deal before. And all these guys are like relatively not newcomers, but just something like this as opposed to Robert Downey Jr.
Well, and on top of that, he's been in more of the movies than anybody except...
he started it. If it wasn't for Iron Man.
Yeah, if Iron Man didn't work, the whole thing would have been scrapped immediately.
Exactly, yeah.
And I mean, there was a good chance because like think of every comic book movie.
Yep.
It's just like most of them do not work, and some of them were liked. But like even when you watch like the Marvel movies now, or you watch like the Christopher Nolan Batmans, or like any of these different things, and then compare them to like the first X-Men movie, it's like that one looks like such a cartoon now.
Yeah.
By comparison.
I wish that the X-Men movies were more cartoony. I fucking can't stand those movies.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to them. I mean, Logan was cool because it was so brutal.
Oh, I didn't see Logan yet.
Oh, Logan was like, it was super violent. But at the same time, I was like, it wasn't necessary because if you watched the second X-Men, he went berserk and you got to see Wolverine. Like he killed like 30 people in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And nothing, like there were just, the only difference was you didn't see the claws like shooting out of the guy's face or something.
Right.
So I'm like, is that really necessary? Because I was fine. It was good. I mean, not
yeah,
that
I like it much. If I get it more violent, I'm fine with
well,
it.
no, I'm fine either way. But I'm just saying that it wasn't necessary. Like there was,
Like it didn't have to be that. Yeah.
Like I could have, like they could have made a PG-13 version of Logan that I would have liked just as much.
Sure.
Because I mean, like there's a scene where like a girl flashes her tits for no reason.
That's gonna be the best scene in the movie.
It was literally like a person.
Hey Logan. Boop.
Yeah, it was literally just a director getting the opportunity to like, oh, we can put boobies in because it's rated R. Like that's what that's what it felt like.
That sounds like the trauma mentality. You can throw a pair of tits in there, right on. If you can blow up those pair of tits, even better.
Yeah, you get a Christmas bonus.
You get that right.
Yeah, and by Christmas bonus I mean like you get paid on time. It's just
happy fucking Christmas.
Yeah, happy fucking Christmas. You'll be able to feed your kids. These guys aren't getting paid till the new year.
Suckers.
But like it's that kind of thing. It's like I was gonna say Daredevil, but that's incorrect. Deadpool had to be rated R. That was necessary because that's how it is.
Yes.
Wolverine, I feel like there's a balance where you can make it Wolverine without being rated R.
Well, he was still Wolverine in the cartoon with the Wicked, with the Phoenix Saga. He was still Wolverine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kicking ass and being a badass. Gene. That's what they never did in the fucking movies.
Which?
When every time Wolverine, well, for one, he never passed out or anything. But one, he needs to pass out, look right at the camera and go, Gene, and then pass out.
Yes, talking about Gene Okerlund?
Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
He did wake up to her a couple times.
He did?
So it's like they gave him something. But
and Mystique was gonna bang him as Gene and he wouldn't take it. I was like, what the fuck, Wolverine?
Yeah, exactly. If you've got a crush, who gives a shit what it looks like? If they send you a real doll that looks like your crush, you get out, you get in that. You get in that deep.
I'd demand you just go back to Mystique, man.
Yeah.
Fucking Rebecca Romaine. Oh, God. Stamos.
So, yeah, still Stamos at the time.
Stamos-less.
Anybody who hasn't seen the clip, go find it. I'll put it on Facebook. It's the clip when she was on Conan and she kisses Conan and he loses his mind.
He picks the chair up and throws it.
Yeah,
it's such a wicked moment.
Well, she had been on the show several times as Rebecca Romaine Stamos, and she always like curses out like Stamos, and then she's always like laughing. And then they did like a weird like party game, like a college kid party game, where like it's like suck and blow, or you put the card on your mouth or whatever, right? Well, they used like a napkin or something, and they're passing it back and forth between like Andy and Conan switched it, and then but then when she was gonna do it, to him, he takes it out of her mouth and goes, and then she kisses him on the lips, and then he has this slow burn like a volcano and just starts going, yeah, and like it's.
I wonder if he was married at the time.
Oh yeah, no, he was totally married. but it's you can tell when it's good about those things because you can always tell that the crushes and those moments,
they're not like
you would have been able to tell if she kissed him on the mouth. And they had been fucking,
right? You
would have known immediately.
Oh, of course.
You're like, oh, that is not the first time.
But would your wife, if you were Conan O'Brien and you went home after that, would you think your wife would at least give you the gears?
I think she'd probably give him a little bit of like just like busting balls,
like that. That's what I mean. Give him the gears. Like, did you like kissing Romaine tonight on your show? Oh yeah.
But I don't think that like the comedy was there.
She probably knows him.
Yeah.
Oh, she knows Conan. He's fucking around.
Conan now, especially, it's like you hear his stories And it's like, I remember him being the young underdog guy, and now he's the guy that everybody knows. He's like, oh yeah, I was at my party, and Steve Martin and Martin Short and Bill Hader, and like, it was like everybody you've ever laughed at in your life was all sitting in one room, and the president was banging on the wall going, please let me in. I'm like, no way, president.
No
you're not cool.
way, buddy.
And like, it's
Louis C.K. rides a naked Ricky Gervais into the pool.
Yes.
Like, that's the kind of party, man, I'm talking about.
That's happened more than once.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I guarantee that's happened. But,
Stephen Wright fell asleep on top of Harlan Williams. He's fine with it.
How did Harlan Williams get into this party? Although he is actually very friendly with Conan.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's very good. But it's I don't know where we're going. Like, that took a bunch of turns. Oh, because we were talking about Rebecca Romaine and the superhero movies.
Oh yeah.
It's telling the right story isn't always necessarily like, I don't know. I feel like how they feel they need to tell the story is always off kilter from what they actually need to do. It was just like,
why they have to do that.
It's like, follow your source material.
Yes. It honestly seems pretty fucking straightforward.
It does, but they're always like, no, it's got to be gritty.
Yeah.
And it's gotta
you know what? I was talking to my kid the other day.
Yeah.
I never heard of this Deadpool guy, but you know what? I think that we should make him bright orange and that he should be an ex-clown.
Yes.
From space, and he doesn't really joke around anymore because he doesn't like that. You know, these are the directions they go in. They're like, okay, yeah, I like that.
I'll give you one better. How about instead of Deadpool, he's the Deadpool, who just is a mixture of everybody's DNA.
Oh.
And then we sew his mouth shut because he's the merc with the mouth. And then so we don't let him speak. And then he doesn't say anything. And then he's got Wolverine sword claws that come out of him. You know, like, I see like a picture of him on here, and I think that's what he is in real life. I'm not going to open the comic though, because I don't want to be proven right or wrong.
The movie, it's Deadpool, okay? Yeah. It's just a slow shot, 90 minutes of a pool with dead animals floating in it.
I thought it was
people come around, they look depressed.
Yeah.
Credits roll.
It's like it's like you're in a hotel that's on the coast of the Dead Sea, but you don't want to go out into the Dead Sea, so you go into the Dead Pool, which is an infinity pool, which is nice. But it's
chocolate fountain.
It's pretty fancy. But that's like all. I don't know.
That seemed to be more back in the day, though.
Yeah.
When they would just make some, now, Marvel has done a great thing, I think, I still can't fucking believe DC. How can they not, like, my God, what do they, why would they make them all dark and gritty and it's like humorless, not a lick of humor in the one. Superman is like, I'm fucking badass. Like, I went to the Batman Bad Attitude Academy. It's like, that's not fucking Superman. No. Superman's a Boy Scout. He's...
I think that they should have... I know, like, it's hard to say this because it's hard to sell. I think that they should have not done Batman. I think they should have done, like, a Batman Beyond or something like that. Had your old grizzled Batman who's been through it.
Yeah.
Who's now trained a young... agile athletic guy and giving him an upgraded suit,
right?
And all that kind of stuff. So you've got Batman in the picture, and you could be Ben Affleck, like
right?
Because it's like athletes. It's like he's not super powered or anything like that.
Yes.
So he's got to retire young.
Somebody else has got to take up the mantle.
So he's in his 40s. And that's old for Batman because you can't keep that up.
Yeah, it's
forever.
not. Yeah, your body is
like the way they did Christian Bale, and I mean they don't give enough credit to that in the Dark Knight Rises. He was a destroyed human being by the time the Dark Knight Rises came out. He could barely walk. He was all
fucked up.
Yeah, it was like they had the thing where Tom Lennon was the doctor there, and he's like, "Oh, we got a problem with the cartilage in your knee." There is none.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, you have done so much damage to your body doing all this stuff. And it's like, you're just not capable of doing it anymore. And that's a great step to
yes.
You go, okay, I'm going to find the next person.
You got to find a new guy.
And they sort of,
girl.
They did that their way, which, people liked or didn't like or whatever with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah. No, I absolutely hated it.
The one thing I hated was when people the one reaction I hated was people was like, oh, did you use magic to figure out that Christian Bale was Batman? I'm like, I thought they explained that really well.
Yeah,
I was like, that was actually one thing that I was
they
like,
really did well.
Who's going to be able to tell who really knows something about an orphan than another orphan who's like he says it. He's like, we put on that face, we put on that.
Yeah, he
he's
knows
like,
the.
he's like,
yeah,
I know when somebody's putting on a face. He's like, that's what I do. That's my skill.
my gig.
And
Was he going to be the new Robin? Was that where they were going with that?
Well,
Was that the hint that they were throwing down?
I think it was more just a nod than anything else,
like just
because
a
I mean,
wink.
Robin's name was not Robin.
Yeah.
Like he did not use the name Robin in it, and it was. But it's I think it was.
Nightwing.
I think it was really just a hey, you've been his sidekick, and your name happens
Right.
to be Robin. Like that was. I think that was as far as they were willing to go with that. But then they also, I think more than anything, he was going to be the next Batman
Right.
because he's gone and all that. And see, and that's where that leads. It's you get somebody else who's good, and you.
I was thinking about Joseph Gordon-Levitt today, man. I haven't seen him in a while since that Tightrope movie.
Yeah, that's true.
He's fucking awesome.
Maybe he's put all his Bruce Willis makeup from Looper back on, and he's just like, faded off into the world.
He's the kind of guy that did like the passion projects too.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to be in Sin City too bad, so like he skipped out on this other movie to do these cool ones.
Yeah.
I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's not going to fall off the map. He's too good.
I like anybody like that, and like Elijah Wood does the same thing when they're like, I'm going to do what I want. He's like,
Horror.
I got to be a kid and do all this stuff, and I came out the other side,
Mm-hmm.
and you know how I'm going to like live my life. I'm not going to be like I was a kid, and I think that a lot of this has to do with this too. He had so many people controlling him as a kid because
Right.
he's like his parents are making all his decisions for him. He's got like there's probably like this litany of managers, coaches, like agents,
His
all
whole
these different
life is
people.
being like micromanaged by like 50 people.
Exactly. And then he gets to a point where it was like, oh, now I'm an adult, and well, my parents were trying to do the best for me, and they listen to all these people and say these are the things you need to do.
Right.
Now I can decide for myself and just say, you know what, I don't think that's cool. I don't really want to do that. I'm going to go do this thing instead. And he's like, I can do it because I've also got money. I got Third Rock checks coming in,
Oh
baby.
man, I loved Third Rock.
It was a great show.
That show kicked ass.
It was a really good show.
Fucking A. It's hot in here. Let's shut her down.
Yeah, it's time to shut down. It's been a long night, and it is very warm in here because if I open the door, you'll just hear like people
Screaming, gunshots.
Yeah, you'll hear.
being raped. Can you just be raped a little quieter?
Yeah, you'll hear the guy from Dawn of the Dead. Oh, the Puerto Rican bastard! he's out there, and neither of us are Puerto Rican, but he's just waiting for us to.
I'll
be
put
Puerto
on
Rican.
some. What do you call it when you're Puerto Rican face?
beige. I think
Beige
it's,
face.
it's unless you're
Like that guy in the
unless you
fucking
are
movie.
Yeah, unless you are black. Like it's like a black man, like or
man.
to become a black man,
Yeah.
you blackface. If you're like Middle Eastern, you brown face.
Yeah.
Anything less is well, not
Is
less,
beige.
but like anything not
Anything less is
those two
uncivilized.
things. Yeah, is beige. Yeah, which Hulk Hogan did. Was that which?
Grey Poupon. No.
It was
Right guard
yes.
deodorant.
Yes, I knew it was a deodorant. But I was like,
Speeds? Well,
no,
wait, it was
like,
it's deodorant.
It was Right Guard. You're right. Because
Anything
I was
less would be
thinking.
uncivilized.
Yeah, because I was thinking it was deodorant, but I just was like, I kept thinking Old Spice, and I'm like, no, it definitely wasn't Old Spice because theirs was always that god awful song.
Yeah.
All right, so we went hard turn into the DC universe to the Marvel universe, and then all the way back up through, and we got back to Hulk Hogan via deodorant.
Beautiful. And that wonderful how it works out like that.
I like life. I don't love it, but I like it. All right. So make sure to rewind to the first like several minutes of this movie to remember what movie we're doing. We're doing No Holds Barred. Go find it. It's findable. It's not as accessible as some of the other movies we've done, but I mean, even God, you should own this movie. Go on Amazon. Like if you go on the US Amazon, you could probably find this thing for $1 used.
Hulk Hogan's got like $800 million right now. He's probably just mail you out one.
If he bought every one of us a copy, he'd be fine.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. And that's like with our current listenership. If it gets bigger now, I'm not gonna ask that of him. But right now I am officially asking it of him. Know the addresses of everybody who listened to our show. Mail them a copy of No Holds Barred. We're gonna show you some love. We're gonna make it so well that they're gonna ask you to star in the sequel.
Oh yeah.
200.
That's how I'm living my life. That's how everybody out there should live their life, with no holds fucking barred.
I don't bar
Screw it.
I don't bar my holds.
Literally.
Nice.
You want to fucking You know what? You just do it. Just get out there and
Ooh,
do it.
Somebody should
No
use that.
holes barred.
No holes barred, baby.
Whatever you're into, just do it.
Yes, and if
Fucking A.
I'm gonna trademark "just do it." I think that's a really good.
I think that we might be onto something here.
Yes, we will just do it.
Yes.
And I'm pretty
No
sure
holes
that we're
barred,
the first
baby.
people that ever say it.
I'm positive.
I feel like this last few minutes is just going to be ooh, because we're going to get a thing from Nike's lawyers.
I want you to know
like a cease and desist.
that I'm going to give you a check mark
Yeah?
for that thing you just made up.
What?
This, just do it.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to give you a check mark. I think it's really good.
Is it? Okay,
Yep.
great. Almost like, but not like a hard check, like
No.
a swoosh.
Like a soft, like an aerodynamic one.
Yes.
Like this check mark's going for the win.
Nice. It's got air.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
Just like my penis is going for the win. Kathleen win.
if anybody knows Ontario Premier Kathleen Wynne and wants to find out if she wants a piece of Todd's dick, let's get that. Let's email podcast at miscastcommentary.com. Catch us on Facebook at Miscast Podcast. Email us directly, Joe at miscastcommentary.com, Todd at miscastcommentary.com. Get our Facebook page. Get Kathleen Wynne to want Todd's penis. He's gonna have an awful lot of fighting with his girlfriend to do over that.
It's gonna,
but
yeah, she's not a big Kathleen Wynne fan, as nobody is. So it's
Yeah.
really gonna ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, but I mean, if it gets us like a couple more listeners on this thing,
Oh hell yes.
Yeah. It really, like our Northern California friends are gonna be really into Ontario premiership.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like your governor. If your governor wasn't allowed to make decisions, that's what a premier is. Just like if you're curious what those are. So anyways, tune in next week. We're gonna do No Holds Barred. We're gonna have all kinds of nonsense to talk about, trivia and otherwise.
I think anybody that's ever listened to this knows that like you're warning them.
I know. I'm rewarning them. Well, but this one's gonna be a lot of things combined: wrestling, movie trivia,
Tomfoolery,
and growling,
shenanigans,
some chicanery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grinding grunts too. Every time I see Tiny Lister, I just grind like a piece of. We're both gonna bring in just a piece of metal and just give her.
And what was Hulk Hogan's favorite Green Day album? Dookie. So it's gonna be something. So tune in. We promise that there will be a complete show next week.
And probably
That's the
then
only-
some, seeing as we're still going.
Yeah. All right. Tune in next week, guys.
And like we said before, baby, live your life. No holes barred.
Yeah. Unless they say no. Just put
Did
that
you
up.
just listen to me? I just said it. No holes barred.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.